I would like to do it like together. I'd like to share some ideas and learn from you. I would like to start with asking a question. What do you think? Why we need to encourage kids to be creative? Why we need that?
Problem solvers.
For making them to solve problems better, yeah.
Because creativity will drive their learning.
Yeah, creativity will encourage them learn better. That could be an idea. What else?
Gives them a chance to use their imagination.
And it creates imagination. These are the things that come to my mind when I think about this question. And anything else?
And creativity is one of the most important skills that will be necessary when they start to work after school.
Yes, so we don't want the students to sit and listen. We want them to actively involve to the lessons. So to make them involved, to make them do something, they need to be creative. They can't be creative without doing anything. These are the things that come to my mind when I think about why we want them to be creative. The first, and I think the most important thing, is it drives, that's a spelling mistake, divergent thinking. What it means is when the students think creatively, when they become creative students, they can look to the problems in different levels, they can look in different perspectives, and they can decide more interactively. So it's, as you say, it supports problem solving. Because they think more deeply, they find their own way to solve problems. There was a research about it. It was held in 1980s. This research, I don't remember exactly the researcher, but this research was about, they asked a question to the kids in kindergarten students, and they collect the answers. After that, they continue checking the students in their professional life. The question was, how many different ways can you use toothbrush? Can you think about it? Can you give any idea? In which ways can we use toothbrush? How many ways? How many different ways?
Clean my jewelry.
Yeah.
Toothbrush.
Yeah, that was
I read a study. You can clean the floor.
You can clean the
brush
floor.
your hair with it. You can do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I can't remember the percentages, the numbers, but the result of the research was the students who has given more than like 10 or 20 whatever ideas become has become more successful in the professional life. So if we encourage the students to think more deeply, they will become more creative. So it also encourages finding their own ways. And because they do something, they will be more focused on doing something. They will be more focused rather than more distractive. There's one chair if you want to join.
One more chair.
And because they think deeper and because they try to look in different ways, they also stimulate reasoning and questioning. They will become more questioners. Tom was talking about Googleable and non-Googleable questions. If we ask non-Googleable questions, how questions, why questions, rather than an ABC question to the students, they will think deeply and it will encourage their creativity. And also, it will reveal curiosity and imagination. They will think deeper and they will try to guess more innovative things. And also, as we teachers want to make differentiation in the classroom for different learners, if we let them do something, if we create or design lessons that make them creative, that make them create something, it will also help our learning and teaching process to make more differentiated. And also for decision making, because they choose their own way to do something, they will be better decision makers. So that's all I can say about creativity. They will. That's the things that we really want to 21st century learners to be. So to do that, I'll try to, after that part, I'll try to give examples to encourage creativity in the lessons. As we mentioned, we want the students to be doing something, acting something. We want them to learn by doing. So I'll try to give examples for this part. If we have time, I'll continue with that. The first thing will be about if we encourage them to take diary, to take journals, they will try to write and they will try to react their daily life, so it will help their creativity. Also, free writing tales and poetries, and also comics, cartoons, mind maps, concept maps, digital stories, videos and animations. So with iPad we can make the students learn better because they will be doing something. After that, I would like to give examples, app examples for each of them. I've started with a journal. The examples will be chosen for the primary school kids. Kids Journal is an app to keep journals, diaries for students. It is a very basic app for primary school students. I'm going to show you how it works. It starts with the cover page. The student firstly took a photo of the cover page. Can I take one of the photo from the group? So this will be my L10 diary. Then write the name of the diary or the journal. Then choose the color. And after that, let's start with the day. They have created the journal, the diary. Firstly, this is designed basically for the kindergarten and primary school students, so it has a more student-based design. For the day, they choose whether they are happy, they are okay, crazy, sad, mad. So they first choose that. Then they choose what they want to write about. They were at home, school, or away. So I would say school. And they will give details about their day. It's a sunny day. Then they start writing about their day. When we encourage them to do that every day, their writing skills will practice better, and they will learn how to express themselves, and it will help their creativity. Let's say, what did I do today? Today is the L10. Day, blah blah blah. Also, they can take a photo of the day, about the day or their feeling, or they can take a photo from their camera roll.
Yeah.
And after that, they can export it. They can continue doing it every day. You can ask the students, for example, if your students have iPads, you can ask in the beginning of the day, you can ask them to choose their daily mode, and in the end of the day, maybe before leaving the school, the last 5 minutes of the last lesson, they can ask them to write their day with 5 sentences or something else, and it will let them to be more creative. They will be doing something. Yeah?
How does this work if they're sharing iPads? Is that they each have their own file, or is it something that needs to be one-to-one?
They can share the iPads, they can have separate journals, but in that case it will not be private because it doesn't ask any password. In that case, you can use something that asks a password, which has a password protection. There is one called Secret Diary. It's a paid app. This one is a free app. It's more paper-based. It's not like it's not designed for the kids, but this could be an option for that. But if they have their own iPads, they can do it on a daily basis. But I will show export later. I'm going to, let's turn back. It automatically saves. As you can see, you can add more journals. If this is a shared thing, you can make it like a public thing, and you can use this as a diary of a summary of day for each day. Or maybe this could be used as an e-portfolio idea. Each student can have, or you originally have each student's diary here. You can add a photo of the students during the day. You can write something about the student, what you think, what he has done, she has done during the day, and this will be a collection of students' achievements in the end of the year. If you're running portfolio projects, you can show the diary, or you can export the diary in the end of the year, and you can share this with parents. This could be an option to use it in teaching as a teacher. So this continue daily basis, it automatically gets the calendar item, so it continues in daily basis. And also you can export it like this. Entire between, I would say this, not this entry, the previous one, today's entry, or all entries export. Normally it automatically exported. I don't know why it's crashed. I'll try it again. Maybe I didn't save it. No, I saved it. I'll try one more time, then continue. Let's check if it exported the camera roll. Normally it comes here as an image. Each day comes here as an image. Or if you want to export it as a diary, it comes as a PDF to iBook. So it has an integration if you want to have a collection. So this is an example of taking diaries. The second thing was about free writing or essay writing, or for small kids, fairy tale writing. I'd like to share another app called Write About. We used that last week with 5th graders. It's an app to randomly write about something. This encourages students to write something. It has different options. For example, in the random one, it has a gallery of images and sentences. For example, list 10 things you want to pack if you are going to fly to another state for a week. This is something that encourages students to think deeply and express themselves. You can use that, for example, during the lesson or in a week, one time per week. You can ask them to open Write About, and you can say them to choose random one and write about it. Or if you have a specific topic, they can write their own Write About. It has categories also. You can use any category, or you can create a new category. Last week we did about scary horror movies. They write about their scary tales or stories. So if you want to do it own, the student can click Quick Write. Then they can add a picture. They can choose the picture from photo library, or they can directly take a photo in the app. For example, let's say I'll write about Shakespeare, so I added something. They can directly click and write their story, their free writing, their fairy tale, or whatever they ask to them. And they can type whatever they want. Also, they can record their sound. This is a good option. After they write their story, they can dictate it. They can tell the story, and they can record it as a movie. And in save audio. And when you are done with it, they can save it to the gallery, the camera roll. If you record something, it will go as a video. But if you just have the image and the writing, it will go as an image. So they can export it and they can share with the teacher. And there is another app for the small kids who doesn't know writing. Yeah.
Can I just ask a question about that last app? Is that a free or a paid app?
Write About is a free app for just one story. If they want to save more, you need to buy the paid one. It's
Got it.
5 lira something. The other option is Tell About. If you have small kids that don't know writing, you can use the same idea. And
what's it like to go to school?
It dictates the sentence. Then when the student click Tell, they record their voice about the question. Or you can prompt the question to the students, and they can take a picture, they can add the picture, and they can record it without writing. So this is another option for kindergarten students. So we talk about journals, free writings, and the third idea was poetry. Apart from writing, you can encourage them to write poems. There are some students who like it. This is an app for that. It is called Versus Poetry. This is also designed for kindergarten and elementary students, or actually primary students. It automatically gives some words. You can also add custom words to here, up to 20, I guess, in the free app. If you buy the paid one, you can add more. For example, you can create custom words that you want the students to write poems about it. You can give the iPads, before giving the iPads to the students, you can create your own items and shake it, combine it, and you can give the iPads to the students. So the students will take the sentences, the words, and move it like that. And if they want to use any proposition or anything else, they can take it from here and goes like this. So they can write their own poetry with something like that. If you want to do that with older kids, this is an example for kindergarten, not kindergarten, but primary school. If you want to do it with older kids, and this is an app for the older kids, poetry magnets. It has more advanced words in it, and it has a better gallery than the Versus Poetry one. So you can use this to do the same thing just by dragging and dropping. So it will also encourage creativity. So the other idea is making comic scripts or film scripts or cartoons. I'd like to share Comic Life with you about it. This is an app, this is a paid app, not a free one. For creating cartoons, it has a gallery. When you open the app, it has a gallery with pre-designed templates about creating cartoons. If you want the students to create from scratch, it is possible to have a blank page and add the details. When you choose the template, it comes like this. The student can edit the titles, add the images, you can add the text by dragging and dropping the bubbles. For example, let's create an example about feelings, emotions. That was another thing that we did with fourth graders last week. The topic was feelings, and our teacher asked them to create a comic about how I feel. The idea was, how do you feel after you eat something? How do you feel when you woke up? How do you feel after you play match? So the idea was giving examples about feelings. So the students write their own sentences, choose their own images. So it comes like that. By snipping, you can resize the text or the object. Okay, let's create an example together. How you feel after you eat your lunch? Who wants to help me? Or any other expression? How you feel on Monday mornings? Can I take a photo of you?
I don't want to go.
So this was a good lesson with the students because the expressions were like that. The teacher firstly prepared like 50 sentences and shared it with the students. Then the students choose whatever they want and write their feeling. So the activity was good. For example, what is your name?
Lenny.
Lenny feels
Like she wants to stay in bed.
Like,
on Monday
why
morning.
is it not
Depressed.
Depressed is a good one.
depressed, yes.
That's pretty intense.
On Monday mornings.
Please don't export this.
I'll just write, oh no. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Did somebody say Monday? expression. Maybe for being excited, exhausted, being delightful. And we have the Turkish delights on our backpack on the Elten page. Maybe we can write something about after eating the Turkish delights. Can I take your photo? What will be your expression?
Cost
100 lira.
100 lira, yeah. What's
So
the
I need to
expression
find
for
somebody else.
what? No, it's okay. For what? For,
Choose your expression.
but what was the question? I forget. About Turkish delight?
Turkish delight. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that.
It sticks to my teeth.
So you think it's sticky,
Sticky.
and this is the expression of sticky on your face?
Sure, I have a sticky looking face.
So it can continue like that. I want to share more ideas, so I'm going further. After you create this, and you can, as you can see, you can customize it with different images. You can customize it with the design. You can move the things, and you can also, in the end, when you are done with it, you can export it to the camera. Also, this would be an image. Could be printed and stick it to the walls in the classroom or share with other students. Maybe in the end of the activity, you can print some examples and you can share them with other students to discuss about it. So it could be, it could continue as a group project or a discussion session.
Can I ask a question about that app?
Sure.
Can you add voice to it?
No, in Comic Life,
Okay,
no,
yeah.
it's not possible. But there is an app called Film Strip. This is different than that one. It has free designs like firemen's or police stations, something like that. In that one, you can add sound. So the other idea to encourage creativity is brainstorming. So mind mapping and concept mapping. Again, I will show you an example for kindergarten students. Kidspiration. This is a very powerful application that has also a Mac version or Windows version, application version. And also, this one is the free one. If you want to add more templates, you need to get the paid one, but this is fine to continue with the free ones because it has everything on it. It has activities designed for primary school students. Let me lock my screen. So it has reading and writing, social studies, science and math. For example, this will give you ideas about creating activities because it has very good ideas on it. For example, for it says I reached the document limit. I need to delete my documents. I will continue with the example. For example, this is about patterns. It gives the idea, it gives the instruction that the students need to follow the patterns, dragging and dropping from here to the question marks. So you can use the pre-designed ones, or you can create your own diagram. But firstly, I need to delete ones, and I can't do it. Maybe from here. Let me show you the same thing in a different application for primary school rather than primary middle school students. It's called Inspiration. Inspiration is designed for primary school students, and Inspiration is designed for middle school and high school students. It works in the same way. Yes, I have the delete button here. The same problem. I can delete them. I don't know why. I will check it later. I don't want to waste time. So you can create brainstorming activities. After the brainstorming activities, you can create mind maps, concept maps with this kind of apps. Or this one's Inspiration and Inspiration is designed for education, so it has a gallery, contains different thumbnail images, different images about education. Or you can use something like Poplet, which will start with bubbles and which the students will be adding images or drawing images. This could be another option to create mind maps. And the last thing, in my last 3 minutes, I want to share is digital storytelling and role-playing activities. When the students create stories, they become more creative because they have been a part of the story. And Puppet Pose is an example for creating digital storytelling activities. In Puppet Pose, you choose the actors. You can add the actors from camera roll. You can take photos and add the actors by the students. After choosing the actors, you choose the scenes, the backdrop, so it can be in different places. The story could be in different places. When you do digital storytelling activities, you can firstly sit with the students and design their stories with storyboards. Maybe you can give the idea of starting with the problem, discussing about the characters in the story, then writing the storyboard on the paper, then continue acting the story in the iPad. Let's do a small story about something. Firstly, you can add actors by choosing, by taking pictures in the lesson. Can I take your picture? So, when you take a picture, the student just, after you choosing the photo, just choose the place that they want to use in the story. So what would you like to express? What will be your content about your story? Let's say something again about feelings. How you feel today? Would you like to discuss it with Shakespeare? Okay, so I choose Shakespeare and you, and I continue. So where would you like to be? On the scene, on the screen, or somewhere else?
Let's do the sea.
Sea. Okay, on the stage.
Oh, on the sea? Or
Sea.
by the
Okay,
seaside?
let's find seaside if we have.
If it's not, or else. Could you have the outer space there?
What about this?
That's great.
Okay. So you choose the backdrops. You can choose more than one. You can be anywhere. Let's choose a fairy tale place. So after that, you have your characters over here. You can move the characters, zoom in and zoom out them. And you can speak after pressing the record button. You can speak to the puppet pose, and it will record the actions and the speaking, and it will give it as a movie. Would you like to do it?
Yeah, what do you want me to say?
So when you're ready, you will press record button, then you will move your characters. This one will be you and this one will be Shakespeare. Maybe in this story you can express yourself. What do you think about this session? And we can close it with that.
Alright.
Or is there anything you have learned in the session? When you're ready, press button and speak and move your characters.
I am so inspired after this session. I can't wait to get back to my school and show the teachers.
Thank you.
Alright.
So let's watch the story. Also, we didn't do it, but you can change the backdrop over here, and you can also zoom in and zoom out your backdrops. The students are really creative in that app. They love this. They love working together with their friends. They mostly, when you let them to do anything they want, so they mostly choose being with 4 of them, groups of 4, so they add their self, and they add mostly they do horror stories, as always. They add themselves and they speak together in the story. So let's watch our story.
I am so inspired after this session. I can't wait to get back to my school and show the teachers.
So you can name your story. And you can export your story. And it will be again on the camera roll over here. So I want to turn back to my keynote. Why didn't? Sorry. Because of the time, we didn't continue with animations, but it is very helpful to let them create animations, and it will encourage creativity. Using word clouds, infographics, maybe for primary kids it's not easy to create infographics, but maybe with the bubbles and charts. Of course, the visual arts, anything about arts and music, audio thing like creating their own music. And stop motion videos they can do with Legos, blocks, Play-Doh things, and the green screen activities that you record them and put a backdrop over them will encourage creativity. I'd like to finish my session by discussing about this. As we know, this is a Chinese word, proverb. Somewhere it says American proverb. I don't know what it comes from, but mostly it says Chinese proverb, so I added as a resource as Chinese proverb. As we know, when we tell something to the students, they directly forget it. When we show something, they can remember it. For example, in here, you can remember some of them, but if we had more time and we had done them together, you will learn it. So it's very important to do something, learn something by doing, and iPads gives an option and opportunity to the students to create something, and I think that's the powerful way of using the iPads in the classroom. And that's the idea for me as a teacher, as a teacher actively teaching in the classroom. So that was the thing. If you have any question, or if you want to share anything.
No, thank you. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today. Thank you.
There's a lot. I mean, maybe that's not clear. That's some other
Let's check it. I don't know. It has the couple. We have the coffee break for the coffee break. So we have 20 minutes.
Okay.
Buradan mı utandı mı?
No, how come the party will be doing the next session?
Okay. I was wondering if I could borrow you to come into my classroom for like 5 minutes. Is that
Sure,
possible?
sure. Yeah, it's possible. I'd be glad to do that.
Geçmiş olsun Elif, eline sağlık.
Teşekkür ederim. Teşekkürler.
Are you guys Apple educators as well?
Yeah.
Okay, super. Where are you teaching?
Evet.
I'm teaching maths in Bahçeşehir Colleges.
Ama
Okay,
peki
and what about you?
Bu da normalde
ICT
burada değildi,
teacher.
galiba burada
Okay,
olacak.
at the same college?
Yeah.
Bahçeşehir,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you, very nice.
Thank you.
Geçmiş olsun Elif'ciğim. Süperdi.
Teşekkür ederim.
İlk kez
Sağ
seni
ol.
böyle izledim ben. Süperdi.
Hadi ya.
Vallahi.
İzlememiş miydin?
Daha önce izlemedim ben.
Aa, Türkçe olsaydı daha iyi olacaktı.
Yo, bence çok iyiydi.
Yok bence
miydi?
süperdi. Hiç yani
Şey,
hiçbir şey fark etmedik ya.
App'leri light kullanmamak lazım.
Evet.
Ben o sıkıntıyı yaşadım
Evet.
daha öncesinde.
Ben daha önce hiç
Bir şey
yaşamamıştım.
yapıp
Çünkü daha önce
yaşadım.
girmeden önce hep siliyordum. Şimdi iPad'imi aldıkları için
Tebrik ederim.
silemedim.
Çok
Teşekkür
iyi.
ederim.
Ben çok
Sağ olun.
eğlendim. Süperdi.
So where's your class?
Okay, it's a little bit of a walk.
Tamam görüşürüz.
Telefonla
Biz yukarı
görüşürüz.
çıkıyoruz. ha?
their schedule actually. We can use one of those. But neither Zeynep nor I have no information.
Evet, Japonya gibi J-Bokman, evet. Evet. Yine IICS.com